Hi everyone. So it's time for today's connections game. I know you have seen the thumbnail, so you would know what the words of today are. But I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to show you the 16 words. They need to be put in four categories of four words. Pause this video and give it your best shot. Watch till the end of this video. At the end, I will reveal the four groups of four words. Let's start with today's words. First word is chapter. Now, I actually did another video where I talked about chapter. Chapter, the simplest form of it is what do you call it? It's a section of a book, right? It's a chapter. Here is I'm gonna close this chapter of the book, or you're in the class and the teacher says, please go to the next chapter or study this chapter. So chapter usually is used for the book, but now you can also use chapter for life. For the next chapter of my life, I am going to travel to Asia, chapter of your life, right? But also chapter can come, what is for your next chapter of your career, right? So you can have also chapter for your career. So chapter is usually something that sections things off. And here in this puzzle today is section of life. Then we have the word period. Okay, sorry. Actually, chapter. Then in financial terms, we can have chapter 7 bankruptcy or chapter 11 bankruptcy. So it's a financial term, which is, you know what bankruptcy is. And chapter 7 and I think chapter 7 is private or personal, and chapter 11 is a corporate bankruptcy. And then we have period. And period is an interesting word. Again, I've probably talked about it in other videos. Period means, actually period is another word for it is full stop. So that means the dot, right? I went and ate lunch, period, or dot, or full stop. So that's period, okay? But also period means this period of my life was very interesting because I needed to learn advanced English, right? Period. So, and also period could be in the period before Christ. So period could be a historic thing. It could be a historic situation. So period usually shows a length of time, right? A period. And that's why in this puzzle it's a section of life, right? Section of one's life is a period. In that period, when I was a young man, right? Period of my childhood, period of my adulthood. Then you can actually use period as a way of emphasizing things. I'm not talking to you, period. Okay? You're like, that's it. I'm closing the door. I am hanging up the phone, period. Okay, so you are emphasizing with a big exclamation mark. I am no longer commenting on this issue, period, right? I am not commenting on this, period. I'm not going anywhere, period. And then, we have the term women have a period, right? That's the time of the month. So that's the time of their period. And then we have the word phase in the same sort of a thing about one's life. And phase is used also in science and in different things, right? Like in this phase, the atom and the ions are going to mix together and create an atom phase. What phase of experiment are you on? We are on the third phase. In this phase of operation, it's very, very common to use in this phase of operation. That means in this part of the operation. What phase are you on? In this phase of operation, that's what we are doing. What phase of operation are you on? So phase. But also phase, different spelling, F-A-S-E, means to be phased, means so that becomes a verb, but it's not the same spelling. So it's a different. But phase, you're unfazed. That means you're not disturbed, as in you're not affected. Somebody just threatened you, or maybe you were in a bank robbery or something, but you're unfazed, you're calm. So unfazed means that. Then we have the word stage, which is vast. It has so many different meanings because stage has, it's a verb and it's a noun. So again, for this puzzle, stage of my life, this stage of my life, I want to photograph birds, right? Stage. So that's the noun, right? So, but then stage, so the stage, in this stage of operation, we are gonna raise money. Stage, phase, chapter, right? So it's a period of time. So that's just one meaning of stage. But also stage means when actors perform, they perform on stage, right? So you go on stage. Is somebody on stage now? And then you're on stage and then off stage. Get off stage. Get off the stage. Don't talk so much. Get off the stage. And because of that, sort of putting things in front of your face, that stage is, putting something in front of you. Therefore, verb stage is kind of like create a situation of, wow, that basketball team just staged a comeback. Staged. To stage means to arrange, to create. Or you can say, just stage that. That means that did you just make that up? Is that real or is that stage? And so we have on stage, off stage, but then it's like to stage means to kind of mock act, but then also means we can use it as a verb to stage, a comeback, to stage. Are you gonna stage an upheaval or something? Stage a mutiny. So kind of create. So let's go to our other word. Hey there, friend. Nice to meet you. I am Hamid. Sorry for the interruption. If you are enjoying this video and are looking to take your English fluency and vocabulary to the next level, I've got something special for you. I offer personalized one-on-one coaching sessions tailored to your unique goals and interests. Whether you're focusing on grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, or all around communication skills, I'm here to help you master English in a way that's fun and effective. Ready to elevate your English? Click on the link in the description below to book your session with me today. Let's embark on this journey to English mastery together. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more tips and tricks on mastering English. Thank you. Now let's go back to our video. So topic of discussion, these are 4 words with topic of discussion. Issue. So issue is a topic of discussion. What's at issue here? What are you guys talking about? What is the issue? So that's a topic, right? What is the topic? What is the issue? But also that's a noun issue, but it can also be, okay, as a noun, also issue can have other meanings. Like, dude, you have issues. That's kind of informal way of saying you are troubled, psychologically troubled. You have issues, man. I can't stand people in yellow jackets. Dude, you have issues, right? That girl got issues, man. Like, I don't want to, I don't want to date that girl because whenever I'm walking, she looks at my feet and says, your feet are weird. Dude, that girl's got issues. Okay. So having issues is an informal way of saying that somebody is problematic. Then as a verb, issue can be, I am gonna issue an apology, kind of like a publicize or broadcast. I am gonna issue you a ticket, which is like the cop would say that to you when you were speeding. Issuing, to issue. So what is at issue is a topic thing, and then having issues, and then we have the word matter as a topic of discussion. What is the matter? What is the issue? Which means what is wrong? What is the matter? And then for that you can say as a matter of fact. So matter as an issue, matter. But also matter, what is the matter? What is the issue? Then to, and also matter means material, right? Matter. Table is a matter. Chair is a matter. Matter. Made of matter. But also matter could be to matter. Does that matter? As in, do you care? Does that matter to you? Does it matter to you that every time I speak, I need to drink water? Does it matter? And, there's an expression, those who matter don't mind, and those who mind don't matter, which means, it's basically check your expectations. And if you expect too much from somebody, then they should just ignore you. Those who matter don't mind. Those who matter, as in those who, take issue with you doing things, those who matter don't mind. That means those who matter, as in to matter, you matter to me. That means I care about what you say. So those who matter don't mind. So if I am not flawed and if I have issue, those who matter don't mind it. Don't worry about it. Those who matter don't mind, but those who mind don't matter. So if you really take issues with my flaws, then you don't matter. It's not important what you think. You don't matter to me. So matter in that, it means to be important. Then we have the word point. What is your point? Or to get a point across, an issue, point. Point, of course, is that little dot, right? The same thing as, we said period, point, the kind of the same dot, period, point, the point, the tiny little thing, that's a point. So, and then pointed, it's something like pointy, like a knife is pointy, right? And what is your point of view on this? How do you think about this point of view? What is your point of view? And then, so point, what is your point? Like somebody's talking to you for half an hour and you like, okay, so what is your point? What are you trying to get across? What is the point that you're trying to get across? And then that's the noun. And then you can say as a verb, to point, which is to show something with your index finger. Can you point that to me? Can you point to me the man who robbed you? Point. Show me with your finger. But also to point out. May I point that this class really needs an air conditioning? Point out. So topic of discussion can be issue, matter, point, and then subject. Right? The subject of discussion is today that, a lot of people eat a lot of fries. So subject. What is the subject matter of this course? Well, I'm learning, Spanish. Great. Subject matter, the stuff that you study, the stuff that you discuss, topic of discussion. What is the subject? But then subject can be, am I the subject of your investigation? Subject means that, people are interested in you for something. Am I the subject of study? Subject. In French is, I think, sujet, subject, right? And then, but of course, it's a grammatical thing, subject. What is the subject of this sentence, right? And then we have things like subjective. Reality is subjective, right? And that has to do to subject. That's a verb, to subject. So, but reality is subjective, not objective. That means that the reality you perceive has a lot to do with your perspective, your point of view, rather than objective. Objective is the opposite of subjective. And then subjective means that this is a very subjective experience, which means it changes person by person. Okay, so the words issue, matter, point, and subject are topic of discussion. And then the verb subject, to subject, are you going to subject this person to this? As in, are you going to put them in a situation that they experience something? I feel that they subjected me to discrimination. So to subject somebody, you put them in a situation when they experience it. Then we have parts of a car informally. Dash, which is actually short for dashboard. Dash also means, other than dashboard, dash means, the little line, it's dash. You can have a last name, dash, another last name. And then, but then to dash means to walk really or to run. I have to dash, because I have to go really fast. Then shock, it's another part of a car. And shock is an interesting word because you can have, to shock somebody, to really, I am shocked, as in like, you're really affected by something, you can hardly talk, to shock somebody. But it's interesting because shock can also be a verb, shock of white hair, which is completely different, but that's another word. Tank, for a car, tank is where you put the gas, but also tank remembers the, vehicles in a war, there are tanks with the, whatever you want to call that thing. And then wheel, right? So wheel, is the steering wheel, short for steering wheel. And wheel is also the car has wheels, but also as verbs, you have things like wheelings and dealings. Somebody's wheeling and dealing, which means somebody's kind of doing things not necessarily on up and up, wheeling and dealing. And finally, we have these things, connections game says color homophones. So blue, BLEW, is a homophone of BLUE, of course. Blue is the, as a past tense of blow, right? Blue. You blew that away, right? Like you screwed up. Choral, and that's another one, CHORAL. Read, READ. As you know, in English, when you say I have read, it's not RED, it's READ. I have read. And finally, roles, and ROWS, roles, which is interesting because it's not roles, it's roles. So it's a longer O, which you need to pay attention. And rows, row, row, column, you have that in a spreadsheet. But also row is something that you can have an argument somebody, you can have a row with them, or could be a row. Okay, have a great day. See you tomorrow.